We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The Los Angeles Chargers are releasing star defensive end who pretty much really can't stay healthy, though. Joey Bosa. Y'all know me and Steve-O. We're going to talk about it and break it down.
Did he just freeze?
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Our stuff is still tripping, but we are here to bring y'all this breaking news. I'm Bobby. I'm joined by Steve-O here on NFL Central. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Steve-O, according to Adam Schefter, the Los Angeles Chargers are set to release Joey Bosa in a move that will save the Chargers $25.36 million against their cap. Let's keep it real. My man's ain't been healthy for a long time. How you feeling about this release coming from the Los Angeles Chargers, though?
I mean, it was expected. Like I think if anybody didn't really think this was a path down with this, you just weren't paying attention to him. He's been injury riddled since he's came out of college. Like if you look at, they got a percentage out. If you look it up, his injury rate, they say he has the chance of injury 78.9%.
Sheesh.
That's a ridiculous statement to say. I'm gonna just go through his injuries as a pro. And I'm gonna just start in 2016. So you got a thigh hamstring strain, a hand finger dislocation, a clavicle neck strain, a pedal foot bruise, another pedal foot bruise, concussion, a cranial concussion, a pedal ankle pull strain, another hand concussion, a growing tear, grade 3, another foot strain, a hand wrist fracture, a back lower lumbar strain pull, grade 1, and a and God knew I don't even know how to pronounce that hip bruise. That motherfucker having goddamn injuries I never heard of. Like just to sit here and say most of them, if not 90% of his injuries, lower body. So with somebody that has to be explosive, quick first step, it's just not worth it to be keep paying all this man all this money, and you know for a good fact he not gonna make it through the season. And if he do make it through the season, and y'all trying to make it to the playoffs, he's not gonna be available for the playoffs. So it's just understandable. It sucks that he's going because he's when healthy, he's a very talented edge rusher next to his brother, but he just can't stay on the field.
Yeah, and then when you pay a guy that much money, then you can't stay on the field to give us the impact that we need from you. Yeah, you're going to be up out of there, my guy. And Jim Harbaugh, he's one of those guys that's going to build the team to his liking. And if you get in, you seen that the team kind of took a step forward this past season, and he virtually wasn't really that effective.
Nope.
5 sacks this season. Last year, 6.5. The year prior, 2.5. 2021 had a solid season with 10.5. But it's just too inconsistent for my liking. And that's just me as the YouTube GM that I call myself. And then you already know that Jim Harbaugh in the front office over there with the Los Angeles Chargers, they're trying to build out this team. They made some really good additions this past season, picking up Joe Alt in the draft, picking up guys like Lad McConkey, and they were really, really competitive. And honestly, if we keeping it a buck, Khalil Mack had a better season than the guy that's getting all the damn money last year. So you got to look at this and say, hey, it's just not necessarily working out. It ain't looking too good for this young player. So it's time to move on, especially when you are dishing out so much money to this player and you out there to go out there and save yourself over $23 million in cap space to improve your team with the free agency list for edge rushers constantly growing. man, there's so many positions out there. You looking at the wide receiver, Steve. I looked at the list. The list is long
Endless.
with free agent wide receivers, and now you add this name to the defensive ends. But yeah, it's just gonna be some things that these Chargers they gonna have to do. And yeah, how you think what do you think that now that they let them go? We know that last year the emphasis was more on the offensive side of the ball for the Los Angeles Chargers. Now this season, do you think they shift their focus more to the trenches on the defensive side now as they enter into free agency next week in the draft?
I think it's still gonna be a little bit of a balance. I think they're gonna with this move, I think they're gonna look in the draft for some edges because I think there's some quality edges out there that they can help mold and turn into something that they can turn to. Like we still got JT's the edge rusher out of James out of Tennessee. You still got the Michael Williams out of Georgia. It's a lot of edge people that they can work with and can still get even at their draft pick. So I think that's what they're gonna focus on. But I still think it's gonna be a bit of a balance because that yeah, the defense is something you need to be concerned about because they couldn't stop shit in the playoffs, but they also weren't able to put that much points up or enough points either. So I think it needs to be a nice balance of both. You need to address both. You got to address the offensive side of the ball and the defense, and I think they can have this will be a solid year where they can do both.
I agree with that. I think they're gonna have to definitely continue to build out them trenches because Steve, I remember Brandon Staley's last year, bro. How much money was on that defensive side of the ball, bro? You talk about guys like Derwin James, Khalil Mack, Asante
Hmm.
Samuel Jr., all those guys they picked up to try to help the team finally get over the hump. And I think that's the year to where they went up. Wasn't that the 2023? Not last season, but the year prior, 2023. That's the playoff game versus the Jaguars where they was up like
Hmm.
24 nothing and
Hmm.
blew the game.
Yep.
Not with guys like Joey Bosa and Derwin James and JC Jackson and all those talented guys that you had on the squad. That was never supposed to happen, bro.
Never.
Ever. And it happened. And then you come back this past season. Yes, Joey Bosa, it played in 14 games, but he left a lot of those games hurt. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And the production just necessarily didn't match up. So you understand it. It is a business decision. We know how talented he is, but when you giving guys money like that, you can't rest your laurels on how talented a guy is. The talent has to match the production. And this guy just hasn't been productive in the last 3 or 4 years,
You
if we
can't be
keeping it real.
productive if you ain't on that field.
That's a fact.
And that's just what it is. We see it. We see it. It's not like Joey is something we ain't never seen before. There's been a lot of talented players that just wasn't able to be themselves because they kept getting hurt, and that's just the unfortunate. If he wants to redo his career and try to salvage what he got left, he gonna have to figure something out. Well, there's going to Guatemala and get some cell replenishment treatment or something, but go to Germany and figure out what Kobe was doing. But he gonna have to do something, bro, because the amount of injuries that, especially that he's having, like you. He played his most amount of games in the last 5 years, but he was playing single digits for like 2 years straight.
Yeah. So that's really how it is. I mean, the Chargers, when you think about the draft, they're gonna have some good options on. They pick at number 22 for those that are
Mhm.
wondering in the draft. They'll pick at 22 in the first round this season, and they'll have some options for that defensive line so they can go out there and kind of replace them to see if they can find their next star pass rusher. Steve O, just throwing it out there. You got anybody that might be a particular fit for them, or you just kind of wait until you get closer and closer to the draft?
Yeah, I don't want to say any names yet because I don't know their mindset. I don't know if they're willing to spend that money on there. Or they're willing to really invest into the draft. And me personally, if I'm them, I'm investing in the draft.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I wonder how they feel about Buddy from Texas A&M, Stewart.
Stewart,
Yeah,
yes, yeah,
man, because
he's
that
somebody.
that's a raw prospect. well, not too raw, but he'll definitely need some coaching to go along with his development. We know he's an athletic freak who can get
And
and be disruptive. He just need a little bit coaching so he can be able to finish plays because he can get in the backfield whenever the hell he wants. Is what it seems like. You just got to finish the play.
and he got some form of discipline because he was playing near 280 in college and he came in at like 260.
Yeah,
So it showed that when he's real about it, he know what people want from him. He's able to do it. So that shows he's adaptable and coachable.
man, it's crazy. It's crazy, but we trying to bring y'all this breaking news, man. We gonna say what up to a couple people and then bop out. Jacob Capone in the building said, "What's the word, gang? Then what up,
Well,
my boy?"
it's
Rod in the
good.
building said, "Yo." Josh in the building said, "Niners definitely going to pair him with Nick Stevo." That's interesting. You think the Niners gonna go out there and take a flyer to to have the
I
both of the
mean,
brothers back there?
it could work because I can see a world where he takes a discount to play with his brother. So
Mm,
I can see that working. I ain't
yeah,
mad at it.
man. Maybe like I always say, like sometime a change of scenery, a different field might be able to help you out a little bit more. And sometimes when you play with better people on a defensive line or offensive line, your
Hmm.
chances of injury they kind of decrease. Doesn't necessarily say it's guaranteed that you won't be injured, but if you playing with a better DT than say what you was playing with in with a team that had a not so great DT
A
on the
lesser, yeah.
edge, yeah, a lesser DT, you could potentially be a little bit better. We know the Niners, they got some pass rushes over there, and they could probably utilize his services. So
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's a lot of people that can utilize the services. So it should be interesting. Like I don't think the 49ers is the number one spot, but I think it's some people that's gonna take a swing at them.
for sure. V Dog in the building. What up, my guy? He said, "What up,
Yo,
gang? If y'all are Pose, Ben, and Dennis Allen, would y'all make a big swing for another veteran edge pass rusher opposite of Montez Sweat? What you think about that, Steve-O?
I don't want to put necessarily another super vet because, like I said, that's just gonna expedite this defense more than it already is. It's already ahead of schedule compared to the offense right now. So adding a veteran is just gonna expedite that even more. So I'm kind of leaning to youthful, no past 25, 26. Because if you start if you, let's just for hypothetically speaking, you bring a Miles Garrett in here, Caleb got to get ready now.
On the
Ain't
real,
no if, ands, or buts. This offense got to be ready now. So, like, that's my whole thing. Like, if you're going to do that and you're going to make that choice of getting a veteran edge next to Mont, I hope you're ready to go full steam ahead.
for sure. I'm with you on that. I think that the Bears, you should look at all options, but you still should be looking at the trenches and being young, man. That's how I'm looking at it. You should try to be have a balance of veterans with youthfulness so you can have an ability to have one guy pass the mantle on to the next guy per se.
Mhm.
So I think that's something that the Bears should look at for sure. V Dog also says that the market for pass rushers is going insane, bro. Pass rushers and wide receivers are going insane. DK Metcalf requested his trade, so
Oh,
he trying to get up out of there. Devontae Adams is on the market.
oh,
You
we
got
forgot to say something. We got another breaking news. We didn't say it earlier. Tyler Lockett got released.
yes, I mentioned that in the live I did earlier. So that's I didn't even know he was the Seattle Seahawks all time leading receiver. That is
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah. And that's what I instantly hit about like Bears. That's
I think
somebody
that's
that
a hell of a slot that you can utilize.
certified slot. Like that's not even like that's a certified slot you could depend on. He can and he's so versatile. He can still go get that long ball and he could
Yeah,
cook you in that in the meteor route. So
that's a fact. So it's gonna be interesting, man.
I
Bears are
mean,
going after tight end Dalton Smith, per Jeremy Fowler dropped about an hour ago. What's y'all thoughts? Look, I will have to.
I'm finna go over the hey. We
Yeah,
finna go ahead with Drip.
we
He
finna go
talking
over
about that
there.
now.
I think Hayes over there live. Y'all know we working, man. It's late. This damn NFL off season is cooking. We gonna try to bring y'all all this fight. So V Dog, I think Hayes over there talking about it right now. If you want to slide over there, we about to bop over there.
Bro.
after this comment from Josh. I think if you're Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen, and Post, Josh Sweat should be the target guy. However, the Bears still got the offensive line complete, which they are starting to do, but they need a center. They do. And I think they will get the center that they want. I think it's a strong chance that the Bears strike gold again. We talked about 3 offensive linemen that the Bears will have to get for them to be able to give themselves a little bit of more a wiggle room when they enter the draft. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be very, very interesting to see these teams continue to shake up their teams. I ain't going to lie to you. One team I'm interested in is the Washington Commanders. How do you continue to push forward? Because you went out and got Deebo Samuel. Now what? Because the Eagles just loaded up with Saquon Barkley and Zach Bond. They said, come on back. We trying to go for number 2.
Scary part, they still ain't really spent no money.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
So that's what's going to be interesting, man. But we just want to Snorlock. Mindless guy. What up, man?
What up,
He in the building. But we just wanted to bring y'all this breaking news as NFL offseason continues. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe. Steve-O, you got anything left, bro?
Nah.
All right, that's it, y'all. If anything pop off, we'll probably have to hear about it tomorrow. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. But hey, we appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to NFL Central, your number 1 spot for everything NFL. I'm Bobby. That's my guy, Steve-O. We gonna catch y'all on the next one for sure.
Peace.